Hey Pretty Girl Club, welcome back to the Privilege Stacking series. And in this video, I want to talk about how you're fat because you don't know what to eat. So, a lot of women on TikTok, they were talking shit about skinny women, saying that skinny women can't cook and that we just drink Slim Quick shakes and basically we're starving and miserable. No, actually, I want to make the argument that a part of why a lot of women are fat is because not only can they not cook, and so they're going out to eat every day, but they literally don't know what to eat. So, one thing that I recently discovered is that my favorite meat is actually turkey. So, turkey wings, turkey necks, even like the pepperonis that you get at the grocery store, the processed ones that are made of turkey. So, for some people, they haven't taken the time to study themselves and to study what type of foods work best for them. So, one of the reasons why I was out of shape was because I thought that like beef was the only option for me. And that's because I don't really like chicken and I don't really like ham. I'm not a fan of pork. So I was like, okay, I don't like chicken, I don't like pork. So the only other option is beef. And the only way I knew how to cook beef was with hamburgers, like making the cheeseburgers and stuff and making tacos. So of course I became thicker. But that's because at that time I literally didn't know what to eat. And so the problem that a lot of women have who are out of shape is they're not studying themselves. They're not trying to create like a list of different options for themselves. So that's why they end up going to Sonic. That's why they end up going to Five Guys and becoming belugas and having a beluga mindset. It's because they don't want to take the time to memorize, like, okay, what protein sources work for me? Because, by the way, protein is the most satiating macronutrient, just so you know. Like, if you're not eating enough protein, you're more likely to be hungry. If you're not having protein and fiber and healthy fats, you're more likely to be hungry. So that's why a lot of women that don't cook and they go to fast food places, they're still hungry an hour later. It's because they didn't eat foods that had any actual nutrients. And so your body is basically like, okay, try again because that shit was not satisfying. So eat something else. But another thing that can help you to figure out like what types of food you should eat. Okay, so I want you to think about your favorite junk foods. What are your favorite junk foods and why do you like those junk foods? So specifically, like what exact taste do you like about that particular food? So, for example, I used to always eat pizza, and I just realized the other day that I actually don't even like pizza that much. I realized I don't like the bread part of the pizza. I hate the crust. I never eat the crust. Sometimes it's dry. Sometimes, if the pizza has too much bread, I actually don't even like it. So, I discovered I actually just like the cheesy part and the toppings on the pizza. That's it. That's the only aspect of pizza I like. I like the cheese, the toppings, and the grease. Yes, I do like the taste of grease. So, one of the ways I can replace pizza if I wanted to, I literally could. I could try to make like some vegetables or something else with some sort of pizza toppings on it. Or I can basically, like, there's another way that I can create a healthy version of pizza without the crust or without the bread part. Because I actually don't even like bread very much. I really don't. So I was thinking about it too with cheeseburgers. That's another one of my favorite junk foods. I actually don't even like the buns on the cheeseburger. Like, that's not what I'm looking forward to. When I go to a burger place, Five Guys is my favorite. So when I go to Five Guys, I'm not looking forward to eating the buns on the burger. So now that I'm skinny, I've started to discover the nuances of my own taste buds. I don't look forward to the buns. I only look forward to the meat part and the toppings on the meat. So like the lettuce, the tomato. I do not like ketchup and mustard on my burgers. If you eat ketchup and mustard on your burgers, what are you doing with your life? Like, why? How do you do that? I don't understand. Like, why would I ruin a burger by putting ketchup and mustard on it? First of all, mustard is like the strongest taste ever. It just completely takes over the entire thing. Why would I ruin it by putting mustard, ketchup, and pickles on it? Why would I fuck up my entire burger by putting that shit on there? So once I started to like kind of think about it, I only like the meat part. I like the texture of the meat and I like the seasonings. And I like the greasiness paired with the vegetables. So with the lettuce and the tomato on there, maybe like the chopped onions. So that's the aspect of a burger I like. So now whenever I go to get a burger, I take off the buns. Because it's like, okay, I don't even really enjoy the buns anyway. And plus, it's just adding all these extra like white carb, basically refined carbs So it's like I don't even need those refined carbs. I only like the meat part anyway, so why not just eat the part that I like? Or just figure out a way to make that at home. This is something that a lot of thin people do. Once they start to study what exactly they like, it's much easier to meet your cravings. Did you know that a part of the reason why they sell fruit trays in the airport, you know those little boxes where it has like grapes in it, it has little cheese squares in it? Part of the reason why they sell those is because those little boxes are supposed to hit all of your cravings. They're supposed to solve all of your cravings. So there's the sweetness of the grapes in there. There's the saltiness of the cheese. So it's supposed to hit your cravings. That's why they sell those things together. So that's a good thing to ask yourself too. Like, what exact taste and flavor do I crave the most? So for me, I notice that when I do have a craving, it tends to be hot food. I tend to crave like pizzas, burgers, all of that is like hot food, like cooked food, especially if it's cold outside. That's my craving, is I crave the warmth of the food. I'm craving the texture and the seasoning. Oh, by the way, once I learned about seasoning, that was a game changer. Realizing that the majority of the reason that I even buy all this processed bullshit is because I literally just like the seasoning. I just like the taste. It's not that I actually like every aspect of that food. And I definitely don't like how I feel after eating that much food. Like if I eat a giant burger, especially if it has the bread on it, oh yeah, I'm going to feel like trash. Like if I eat high carbs, I'm going to feel like trash. But another reason why some people are fat is because they don't eat enough diverse foods. And so they're eating the same thing every day. They eat gas station stuff for breakfast, then they eat McDonald's for lunch, and then they have Taco Bell for dinner. So they don't eat diverse enough foods. So they're eating the same thing every day. And so they can't compare and contrast how their body reacts to each food. They can't compare the taste of one thing to the taste of something else. They can't compare how satisfying it is because she only eats the same shit every single day. She eats freaking Taco Bell for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She eats fried chicken. She eats Wingstop every single day. And by the way, I literally used to do that. That's a part of how I became chunky during COVID. It's because I was eating Wingstop every single day. So it's like, yeah, if you're not eating diverse foods, you can't compare what you actually like. You don't even know if you like fruits and vegetables. You know the people that are like, oh, I don't like fruits and vegetables, or healthy food is nasty. And it's like, this bitch hasn't even tried enough healthy foods to know what she likes or not. She's only had 5 different vegetables and that's it. So a part of what holds women back from losing weight is they don't try enough variety of foods, because trust me, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of different options for healthy, low-calorie foods, whether it's fruit and vegetable or not. There are so many different options, but a lot of women who stay fat, they don't want to try it. They feel overwhelmed, so they don't want to start studying and researching like what types of options there are. So yesterday, I actually went grocery shopping, and I like to walk down the supplement aisle. You know how they have like all the protein bars on one aisle? So I went down the protein bar aisle, and I actually discovered that they have a thing called keto cookies. So I'm not keto. I don't follow any particular diet, but I didn't know that the keto people made cookies. I didn't know that was even an option. If I was going to buy cookies, I would have ended up buying Oreos or something. So it was good for me to stop and look in the protein aisle, because now I'm more aware of the options I have. So every time I look for a dessert now, instead of me just getting like the regular Pop-Tarts, I try to get protein Pop-Tarts. Instead of me getting a Snickers bar, I try to get a protein chocolate bar. So that's another tip that helped me to lose weight and to stay skinny, is to always have protein in your desserts if possible. So one of the ways you can do this is like, even when it comes to ice cream, if there's a way you can put nuts on your ice cream as a topping, maybe put some almonds or something there, just try to get something like a little bit of nutrient as opposed to pure sugar. And that is something that has helped me a lot. So I used to eat protein cookies, and those didn't really taste that good. But now that I know that they also have keto cookies and all these different types of cookies, like chocolate chip, snickerdoodle, now the next time I want that, like instead of getting a cookie at the coffee shop or getting it at the bakery, I can just pick that up from the grocery store and just have it in my cabinet at home if I need to. So when it comes to women who are bigger and they don't know what to eat, it's because they are not strategic about food. Food is my social climbing tool. Food is supposed to be something that helps me level up. So anytime I go to a party, I actually just went to a party last night and they had cupcakes and cake and basically like all the good stuff. They had all this different food and all the treats. But what I like to do is when I'm looking at the food, I ask myself, okay, is this particular food going to get me closer to my level up goals in terms of health and fitness, or is it going to take me further away? Because this is something that a lot of bigger girls sometimes don't understand is that everything you put in your mouth, it's either taking you closer to your goals or it's making you go further away. So if you're not getting closer to your body goals, that means you're naturally slipping. You're naturally getting further away. So if I don't work out for 5 days, if I don't work out for 2 weeks, I am naturally kind of lowering my fitness level over time. Anybody can tell you that that's basically how life works. If you don't practice doing something, you're not going to get better at it. You're not going to make progress. Practice is how you make progress. So for some women, they are just too lazy to practice eating healthy. They don't want to practice doing it. Maybe they have a fear. I think part of it is like they fear hunger. And I actually used to be like this too. I would be afraid of being hungry. And that's because when I get hungry, my mood gets bad. Like I become lightheaded. Like all kinds of bad things happen when I'm hungry. I get a headache. Sometimes I also am like dehydrated as well. I have no energy. And so I don't like the symptoms that can come along with hunger sometimes. So I realized that I was actually afraid of hunger. And so sometimes I would eat when I wasn't hungry because I was trying to prevent hunger. That is not a good strategy. That's not a good level up strategy. You want to do intuitive eating. So if I'm not hungry, I shouldn't be eating. There's no reason for me to eat if I'm not hungry. That means that my body is just resting right now, or it's trying to process and digest the last thing that I just ate. So, one mistake that a lot of women make when they have a beluga mindset is they're eating as a way to try to prevent hunger in the future. But it's like, okay, now you're not going to know what your own hunger signals are. You don't even know what it's like to feel hungry, or like maybe you can't tell when you're hungry because you're constantly eating and you're constantly snacking. Oh, and by the way, doing all this snacking, it makes your blood sugar go up, which puts your body into fat storage mode. So just saying, fasting or like having, waiting a few hours between meals and stuff, waiting a few hours before eating something, that gives your body and your blood sugar time to stabilize. But a random tip that a lot of skinny girls use is a lot of thin girls that I know use juices or different liquids to their advantage. So I know of quite a few thin girls who will drink apple cider vinegar or they drink herbal tea. Pretty much every healthy thin girl that I've come across, she is drinking something healthy. So besides water, she will be drinking maybe like electrolytes. Maybe she will put lemon and blueberries and blackberries and raspberries in her water so that she can kind of get like the nutrients from her water. That is something that I've noticed across the board with all of my friends who are skinny. They're drinking something healthy. They're drinking something that kind of helps detox them. Or in some cases, they're drinking protein shakes. So they're literally drinking their daily protein. By the way, did you know that when you eat protein, your body burns calories digesting the protein? So and no, I'm not talking about eating a whole bunch of fried chicken wings, but if you eat like good lean protein, so maybe like some turkey or something, or an egg, or like some beans, whatever your favorite source of protein is, your body actually burns more calories trying to digest that. Another thing that I've noticed about all my skinny friends is they keep up with healthy restaurants. So that's different from a lot of the women who have kind of like this beluga mindset or kind of like this indulgent mindset where they're keeping up with all the soul food restaurants. They got all the apps on their phone. They have the Chick-fil-A app, the McDonald's app, the Taco Bell app, the In-N-Out app. Pretty much every fast food restaurant, they have an app for it. But then when it comes to vegan places, they have no idea where to get that. They have no idea where the farmer's market is located in their city. They have no idea where the local gym is located. They have no idea where the hiking trails are, no idea where any of the parks are. One of the biggest social climbing and weight loss mistakes that I've seen a lot of women make is not knowing their resources. If you are trying to reach your fitness goals, you want to know what fitness resources you have at your disposal. So you want to know where the parks are so you can get your pretty ass up and walk. And this is another thing too. I've noticed that some women who are big, I've actually heard some women make comments that like the park is boring or that nobody goes to the park. That's got to be one of the most ignorant comments I've ever heard in my life. Nobody goes to the park? No, you don't go to the park. What are you talking about? There are hundreds of thousands of parks in the United States. Lots of people go to parks. You just don't go to parks, or maybe you don't know anyone who goes to a park because maybe all of your friends and family members, they don't value fitness, or maybe they feel like the only way to be fit is by going to a gym. And that's another thing that helped me on my fitness journey, is realizing that fitness is not a monolith. There are many different strategies that people use to be thin. Some people go vegan, some people are vegetarian, some people are carnivores. I've actually been watching videos about all the different types of food strategies that you can use. Oh, and that's another one of my tips as well, is studying up on all of the different food strategies, because sometimes like something might work really well for you. So I've noticed that eating a lot of vegetables, that works really well for me. Eating fruits and vegetables both, that works very well. Like I could go a whole month. If I were to go a whole month with only eating fruits and vegetables, I would feel great. I know there are some people that wouldn't feel good. So kind of studying up on like carnivore, keto, vegetarian, vegan. Maybe you want to do vegan high carb. I've actually tried that before, being a high carb vegan. And if that doesn't work for you, maybe you can try something else. So just being aware of all of the different ways that you can eat and be thin, that actually helps you to have an abundance mindset when it comes to being skinny. Because those women on TikTok who are like, oh, all the skinny women, they're miserable and can't cook and they drink nasty milkshakes. No, you're actually stereotyping skinny people because you think that being skinny is a monolith. So you think that the only way to be skinny is by drinking nasty shakes, because maybe when you tried to lose weight, that's what you did and you were miserable. So it's not that skinny people as a whole are miserable. It's that you're miserable when you try to get skinny because you don't know how to do that shit. You don't know what foods to pick. But another thing I've noticed though about other skinny girls is that they're always on Amazon, kind of researching, like maybe it's healthy supplements, maybe it's like a walking pad or like foam rollers or like yoga mats, something that helps their fitness. I've noticed that a lot of thin women that I know, they invest in their fitness. They're willing to invest money in their fitness if necessary. So if that means buying a walking pad or buying a standing desk, they're willing to do that. Like I have some family members who lost weight because they bought the walking pad for underneath their desk when they work from home. So those walking pads, those are like what, $200? Sometimes they can be $300, but that's how important their health was to them. That's why they bought the walking pads. So a lot of thin, fit women, they're willing to invest money to actually be as fit as possible. Maybe they will hire a personal trainer. Maybe they will buy a specific gym membership that goes with her lifestyle. So that's another thing too. A lot of people think that like when it comes to gym memberships, you have to lift weights and like you have to do it a specific way. No, I don't even have a gym membership right now. I do not have a gym membership. I don't plan on having one this year. And that's because I realized that I prefer to work out outside. I prefer to just go hiking on a trail. I actually love going to the park. The park is my gym. Did you know that a lot of parks, they actually have pull-up bars in the parks sometimes, or you can do a workout on a park bench? So you can go to Pinterest and just look up, just type in park bench workouts, and then you can do the workouts on the bench. So you can do like push-ups on the bench. You can do like tricep dips on park benches. But some women have the fear of being seen. That's why they don't go to the park and work out. But that's okay. Just go at night or go like early in the morning or go when nobody else is going to be there. And then, you don't have to worry about that. So getting skinny, it's not a monolith. You don't have to have a gym membership and lift 200 pounds. No, you could be doing yoga classes. You could be doing like outdoor yoga classes. You could be doing tricep dips using your own body weight as resistance. I noticed that I like that. I prefer to use my own body weight as my resistance because I don't know, I want to be strong. I want to be able to do pull-ups and lift up my own body. So a lot of thin girls are very educated actually on nutrition. A lot of skinny girls are educated on like fitness or their gut. I've just noticed that in general, whenever I'm talking to a fellow skinny girl, I can have a whole conversation with her about her health and fitness goals and kind of like what she has done, because one of the hobbies, I would say one of the beauty hobbies of a lot of skinny women is literally studying, hey, what are the healthiest herbal teas I can drink? Or, what does apple cider vinegar do for the body? These are the types of things that I'm Googling in my spare time. These are the types of things that show up on my Pinterest. It'll be like, oh, how to have a hot girl summer. And then it'll show images of like all these different smoothies. Oh, that's another thing too. A lot of skinny girls that I know, their social media lines up with their fitness goals. So I'm not talking about just following like pretty influencers and stuff. No, I'm talking about following those accounts where it actually shows recipes, or maybe it shows like a checklist of workouts to do, like it gives you workout ideas. That was actually how I found my thigh gap workout. I found the thigh gap workout on Pinterest. So a lot of women who are into fitness, they will do challenges too, like just like how they have hair growth challenges in the natural hair community. They do the same thing in the fitness community. So I've met some girls where they'll do like 75 hard, which is where you do something hard for like 75 days or something. I've been to a bunch of fitness boot camps. So that's something you can do too. You can look up in your city if they have any fitness boot camps at the park. By the way, pretty much all parks have events. If you are not living in the ghetto, if you're living in a decent neighborhood that has decent parks, the park should have events like yoga classes or a Zumba class. Like the park that is right outside of my building, actually, I still haven't gone, but the one right outside of my building, they do all kinds of classes all the time. So it's actually very easy to find a way to exercise. But another thing, too, that you want to realize is that being fitness, it does not solely rely on exercise. In fact, in my opinion, exercise is actually one of the least important aspects. What you put in your body is actually most important, because some women are putting foods in their body that just sit there. So when I eat processed food, if I were to eat McDonald's or something like that, it's just going to sit in my body. It's going to stay in my body. If I eat a lot of boxed foods that come in a box. So if I get like a box of Fiddle Faddle from Walmart, if I get a bunch of processed stuff like that, it's going to sit in my body. It's almost like my digestive system doesn't recognize what it is. And so it's like my digestive system keeps it in my body for a long time, trying to figure out, like, what is this? What is this fiddle faddle? Where are the nutrients in this? And then I noticed that I naturally become basically constipated from eating all this processed food. So I just feel like a lot of women who have this beluga mindset, I do feel like a lot of women like that, sometimes they probably are just constipated, honestly. They have undigested boo-boo in their system, and they don't eat enough fiber to get the boo-boo out, okay? So that's another thing. Like, a lot of the thin girls that I know, they eat fiber. They eat a lot of fiber. So one of my friends, she's been a size 4 ever since high school. She's the same size that she was in high school, and she is in her 40s now. And she eats so many vegetables. She cooks vegetables. She enjoys making vegetables like on the skillet and stuff, kind of sautéing vegetables for every meal. So that's fiber. And did you know that there are actually foods that you can have in a high volume? There are foods that make you more full. So for me personally, I actually have a whole list of foods now that keep me full for a long time. So that's a part of my strategy for being thin. All I need to do, if I'm super hungry, or let's say I worked a 9 to 5 and I need to meal prep for the week, I have a list of foods that my body loves and stays full off of. So avocado, that keeps me very full. Grapes keep me very full. Watermelon keeps me very full. Strawberries keep me very full. So I already, like, just off the top of my head, I can name different foods that serve my body well. If I have a headache, I will eat onions. Onions cure headaches for me. Onions cure stomach aches for me. Onions actually clear up my nostrils. If I feel a cold coming on, I notice that when I eat onions, it just knocks it out. It just goes away. So that is something that I learned by literally studying my own body and learning exactly how my body reacts to different foods. Whenever I drink kombucha, it does a good job of suppressing my appetite. It does a good job of kind of helping me digest my foods. I know that kombucha tends to have sugar in it, but that's not that big of a deal. So a lot of women don't know what to eat because they have not sat down and made a journal. They don't have a document in their phone. I have been documenting in my phone. Basically, my phone is a food journal. So I document the things I eat every day. I told you guys I take pictures of my meals. and then I will go back and look at them. It's so funny because I was looking at my pictures from 2024 over the past year, and I've made so much progress in what I eat now versus what I used to eat back then. So I saw a picture that I had where I had a huge serving of oxtails from the soul food place. I know soul food is like my weakness. So I had a huge plate of oxtails with the gravy and everything, and that is what I ate that day. And I was thinking, wow, no wonder I struggled with like being as thin as possible. No wonder I constantly felt bloated or like constipated basically. It's because I was eating these gigantic serving sizes of like restaurant foods. A lot of restaurants do not care about the calories at all. They don't care about the calories. They just care about it tasting good because that's what's going to make them money. And by the way, for those of you who want to change your taste buds, it only takes 2 weeks to change your taste buds. So today's the 1st of the month. Okay, so by the 15th, your taste buds will be different. So all of this BS, like, oh, healthy food's nasty, I don't like the taste of it. Okay, well, you can change your taste buds. Your taste buds don't control you. Are you really going to allow your taste buds to ruin your life? Are you going to allow your taste buds to control your life? Seriously. Like, I'm not going to live my life being the bitch of my taste buds. No, my taste buds are not God. The fuck? I don't live my life based on, oh, well, it tastes good. Okay, and I'm in charge here. My mind and my goals are taking precedence over a freaking gland on my tongue. Like, are you kidding me? Okay, so you're telling me that my whole life is fucked up because these little circles and dots on my tongue called taste buds literally ruined my life. So I've been revolving my life around my taste buds. Make that make sense. So you're telling me I'm supposed to end up in the hospital paying thousands of dollars of medical bills because I have diabetes, I have obesity, I can't even fit in an airplane seat, so now I've got to pay double to even travel, or I can't travel and I have to get pushed around in a wheelchair because I'm 500 pounds, all because of some circles and dots and glands on my tongue called taste buds? Really? So my whole entire life is being run by disability because of some dots on my tongue. I'm just being a troll right now, but I am not going to allow my taste buds to destroy my life and destroy my future, because I've never heard of a bunch of obese people sitting on their deathbed saying, oh, well, I don't regret any of it because, you know, the taste of all the foods that I've been eating over the years, it tasted so good. And let's be logical here, because when you're eating food, you're actually supposed to chew the food about 20 times. And so if you are obese, let's say the person is like binging or something, they're not even tasting the food at that point. They're just inhaling it. So it's like, okay, first I started off by allowing some small circles and glands on my tongue called taste buds. First I allowed that to control my life. And now it's so bad to where I don't even taste the food anymore. I just swallow it. So now my teeth and my throat is controlling my life because I'm not tasting the food. I'm just chewing it up and I'm swallowing big giant lumps of food and then just letting it go into my stomach. So you're telling me that my life is controlled by my throat and my teeth and that I now don't even get to enjoy the taste of the food? So I'm basically living my life as a zombie. So I'm essentially pretending like I'm enjoying the food, but I'm really not even enjoying it because I'm not even tasting it. Make that make sense. Once you start really analyzing why you've been binge eating, it no longer makes sense because it's like, yeah, why would I do that? Why would I allow a cupcake to ruin my life? Why would I allow In-N-Out Burger and Wingstop to destroy my life and destroy my health? Why would I allow processed foods and toxic sugars and stuff? Why would I allow that to come in and ruin my health and ruin my gut and literally cause mental health issues and mental illnesses? Some people actually believe that the worms and stuff in your stomach contribute to mental illnesses getting worse. And I kind of believe it because I have known people who had like bipolar and different types of like mental illnesses. And when they ate bad foods, their symptoms got worse. So now you're telling me that my taste buds are ruining my mental health? So my body is literally working against itself. I'm my own worst enemy at that point. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not doing it. Do you know how many people are watching this YouTube channel right now who would love for me to fail? Do you know how many people I've had in my life who would love to see me gaining weight. They would love to see me looking bad. They would love to see me sick. Do you know how many people out there would love to probably see me on my deathbed, or they wish ill upon me? So why would I give those bitches the satisfaction of me fucking my own life up? I'm not doing it. You won't ever be able to catch me slipping, baby. All of this living my life on my taste buds and living my life based off of soul food and pizza shops and hamburger shops, all of that, that's for the basic Betties, okay? I'm just being honest. You are too pretty. You're too valuable. Your life and your purpose and your mental health and your physical health is too valuable for you to have this basic ass mindset. And I'm not saying you can't eat that stuff, because I still eat. I mean, I told you guys I just went to a party last night and I was eating whatever I wanted, but I eat it in moderation and I give my body time to digest the food. Binging on food and like not giving my body time to digest it, I consider that to actually be a form of self-harm. I'm harming myself. That's a form of self-harm. Me going to In-N-Out every day is a form of self-harm. Binging on sugars and processed meats and never having any nutrients, that is not showing self-love. When it comes to self-love, I believe that discipline is the highest form of self-love. So yes, I am going to reparent myself. I'm going to refather myself by disciplining myself. A lot of people struggle with their weight and they struggle with their diet because they had bad parents. So their parents never taught them about nutrients and vegetables and eating a balanced meal. So maybe they were neglected as a child and like their parents never told them about food. And so for me, a part of healing my inner child and reparenting myself is about discipline, because I feel like a father is supposed to protect and provide and teach discipline to a child. Okay, so that's me refathering myself. It's by protecting my health, protecting my beauty, protecting my organs, protecting my physical appearance as well. Because I care about both the inner health of my body, but I also want my body to be an outward reflection of my health as well. So that's a form of protecting myself. I'm also protecting myself socially. I am protected from fat phobia because I am not fat. So I don't have to deal with fat phobia. That is something that I am socially protecting myself from. It's an act of self-preservation. And I know that people are going to say, well, the world shouldn't be fat phobic. Okay, well, it is. So now what? Oh, well, nobody should judge anybody based on their appearance. Okay, well, they do. So now what? I have no choice but to practice self-preservation and to protect myself from whatever phobias or disadvantages I can. So yes, fat phobia is something that I do not want to experience. If you had the choice to experience fat phobia versus not experiencing it, wouldn't you choose not to experience it? Why would somebody volunteer to suffer? You wouldn't. So why would I volunteer to suffer by ruining my life, ruining my body, ruining my physical appearance, ruining my stomach? It's all stretched out and shit. I got cellulite and like all this extra skin and shit. Now I got to pay for a surgery to get my skin fixed. So now, not only did I ruin my life, but then when I tried to fix it, now I've got to pay money so that I can clean up the mistakes that I made in the past by getting that surgery on my loose skin. And there's nothing wrong with getting the surgeries. I think you should get the surgery if necessary. If you have loose skin and you want to get rid of it, then get rid of it. Save up your money and get rid of it. But a lot of women don't know what to eat when it comes to their weight loss journey, because part of it is they don't have a foundation of knowing what foods are healthy. And then another part of it is they don't feel worthy of weight loss. They don't feel like it's worth the time to look up on Google, what foods are healthy, or to even join a program of some sort. I'm sure they have weight loss support groups. I'm sure they have like different fitness plans they can do. They even have meal prep services, actually. You could sign up for HelloFresh or Factor or all these different meal prep services, and I'm sure they have an option to where you can request like, hey, can you make it keto? Can you make it low carb? Can you make it high protein? I'm sure that they have services online where you can request that. But for some women who don't know what to eat, they also don't want to schedule a way to figure out what to eat. So they're also bad at time management. Okay, so you're telling me I'm bad at eating, my life is controlled by some circles on my tongue called taste buds, and now I'm also bad at time management? I'm not going to let my life continue to get worse and worse and worse. Do you see how it's a spiral where it just keeps going down further and further and further? Not to mention the fact that if you're super big, it actually does take very big people more time to get ready. It takes obese people more time to walk down the stairs or to wait for the elevator or to get in the car and stuff like that. So losing my mobility now. So I'm bad at time management. My life is controlled by taste buds, and then I'm losing mobility. Does that sound like living my best life? I mean, I'm just saying. That's not the life I want to live. And so picking the right foods to eat. Food is a part of my level up journey. Okay, so I believe in the concept of level up foods. That's how I like to label it in my mind. Like, oh, those are pretty girl foods. So I don't have negative labels for foods. I don't say that like XYZ food is bad, but I will try to prioritize healthy foods. So for example, if I make a strawberry salad, I love strawberry salads. So if I eat a strawberry salad, I will tell myself, ooh, I'm eating a pretty girl salad because strawberries are like good for your skin. They've got antioxidants in them. Spinach has a lot of iron in it that helps your hair to not get thin and stuff. So I will actually assign positive labels to healthy foods as a way of retraining my brain. So when you call healthy foods nasty, you're sending the signal to your brain that, okay, this is nasty, so I should be repulsed by this. I should feel repulsed when I see apples and salads. I should feel like that's nasty or boring. That's another thing I used to tell myself. Oh, apples are boring. Broccoli is boring. All these other foods are boring. And it's like, okay, what would I rather have? Boring foods or a boring body and boring health and a boring life and boring levels of energy? Which one would I rather be bored with? I mean, I don't think that food should constantly be seen as a source of excitement anyway. So you're telling me my life is controlled by some circles on my tongue, and that the only way that I get excitement in life is based on some flour and sugar and eggs and milk mixed together called a cupcake. So are you telling me that's the only way that I find success and excitement in my life? Food is not my main source of excitement. It should be used as fuel. Yes, I can have fun sometimes and like maybe try a food or, have a cupcake every now and again, but I don't eat cupcakes 7 days in a row. I don't eat cookies 7 days in a row. I might eat that once, maybe on the weekend or maybe once every couple of days, but food is not the source of my excitement. I have so many other things to be excited about. I've got this YouTube channel. I have a Patreon. I have a course with over 100 journal prompts in it. Be sure to get my Dark Femininity course. It's basically a psychology course. So I have all these different things to be excited about. I would rather be excited about wearing my bikini on the beach in Mexico versus, oh, the most exciting thing in my day is a cupcake. The most exciting thing in my day is a piece of bread that's going to be gone in 5 seconds. The most exciting thing in my day is a chocolate chip cookie. Okay, so once you're done eating that cookie in 5 minutes, you're telling me that the excitement is gone? So I'm living my life so that I can have 5 minutes worth of excitement by eating a chocolate chip cookie. Anyway, what do you ladies think? What are your fitness goals for 2025? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.